Hey guys and welcome. This video is on the plugin building game, and what you have to do is you have to build the subject given the best you can. So there can be multiple teams. For my example, I'm going to show you two, and when you start the game you're given a subject. You can add more subjects inside the config file or even in game using commands, and the players have a certain time limit and they have to try and build it inside the area given, and then when it finishes they go into each other's arena, and it's basically a game of sort of truth. You tell the truth about what you think of the other person's one, and the one with the most points wins. So it's a really fun game. You can add whatever categories you want. At the moment they're fairly simple ones, but I'll show you it anyway. So the first thing you want to do is actually create the arena. So I've built one here, so I've got two identical arenas. I've put glass in the middle. You don't have to. This is just so you can see how the other players are getting along. And then obviously a lobby area. This is where they join the games from. So to start with, we want to create the arena. To do this we do /bg create arena and then a name. So we'll call that as test, and as you can see, arena has been created. The next thing you want to do is add the spawn points for the arenas. So you do bg set spawn and then test, and you can see spawn point 1's been set, spawn point 2's been set, and obviously if I did more it'd add more teams. So the next thing you want to do is actually add the lobby point for the game. So you go inside here, /bg set lobby and then test. So that's for test, but you can also set the main spawn, so when you finish any of the games you spawn in here, and that's bg set main spawn, and this is where this is now as well, so it's all in one area. Next thing you want to do is set the minimum amount of players. So if you wanted each team to have 5 players, you'd obviously want to set it to 10 players. For my example, I'm just going to set it to 2 so I can show you a game in action. So to do that, you do /bg set min players test and then 2, and you can see the minimum amount of players has been set. Next thing to do is actually set the bounds so it knows where you're allowed to build. So to do this, bg set bounds test, and then 1 indicates that it's for number 1. So you select the points from inside the arena, and you can see the boundaries have been set, so this is where player 1 can build, and then the same thing again for this one but number 2, and then just opposite corners, and this is where they can build. So you've set the boundaries. The next thing you want to do is actually set the floor so it knows this is the lowest point. /bg set floor test, and this is 2 first this time. Just make sure you get the right numbers, otherwise it will completely glitch out and you'll start changing blocks in the other person's arena. Number 1. So as you can see, the floor's been set for both of them now. So the next thing to do is just create a sign for the arena. So you go inside here, this is your little lobby area, place a sign on the wall, build in game, join, and then the name, so test, and that's your sign created. It doesn't come up to start with, but if you right click on it you can see it actually joins the game. So I'll quickly just log on my other account and we can play a game. So I've just clicked on the game, and as you can see it's joined the game has started, and the subject is toilet. So I've got to build the most accurate toilet I can. So by pressing E I get a list of all the blocks. Obviously any player can do this because you can't build outside the arena. As you can see, if I try and fly outside, can't move here. If I try and break the blocks, can't break them because they're not inside. This one I can break because it is inside, so obviously if I needed to use that space, obviously you'd probably delete these blocks before anyway, it's only to set up the region. So then you start building your toilet. Right, so I'll quickly just try and build one. Whoops, my building isn't the best, remember please. I can't say I've ever had to try and build a toilet in Minecraft, so this is a first. Right. So this can be the seat. It's in the upright position. Not the seat, sorry. The what's the thing at the back? The cistern. Does that look like a toilet? I don't. No, it looks pretty rubbish. Yeah. That's my toilet anyway. Where's water? Oh, I'll just use this. This looks like water. So that's my toilet. So then other players would be able to vote on this. You've got this options here. So if I wanted to change the floor block, all I'd do is drag a block in and you can see the floor all changed at once. It just saves a lot of time when you're playing. That's the main feature of this. So like again, if I wanted to change it to blue, you can see it changes really quickly. Other features, you can change your flight speed, you can change the time of the plot. So if you were building something spooky, you'd change the time inside here and it would make it look more realistic. Also, if I stand over the toilet, click particles, I can actually add particle effects. So for instance, if I add a water drip, obviously it doesn't make much sense there, but if you tied it in somewhere with the toilet, for instance a dripping pipe or something, that'd obviously look quite good. There's loads of other particle effects as well, so you've got lava, enchantment, hearts, so there's loads of different ones that you could add. Snowball poof, yeah, it doesn't really make much sense, but you can add subjects that are easy to build. Obviously the default ones are just default ones, you'd come up with your own anyway, but it's a really fun game. I'll quickly just skip the rest of the game until it comes to the voting stage. So as you can see, it's doing its final countdown, and then I'll get teleported into the other arena. So as you can see, this is Nene 90 plot, so this is actually my plot, and if I try and click, you can see you can't vote on your own plot, so I have to go onto the other character quickly and vote. So right, this is VariationVault's plot. So as you can see, his toilet looks a bit better than mine, so I can select awesome. So if I select excellent, you can see he's got an 8, and obviously that means he wins because I didn't get any votes for mine. So it's a pretty fun game. I mean, it's all about honesty, this one, so it's all about how the players rate each other. But it's a pretty fun game just to build anyway, even if players are unrealistic with their votes. It's still fun to actually build and have a go at it, and just mess around with the particles and things like that. There'll be a download link in the description below, and as always guys, please remember to rate, subscribe and comment. Cheers!